So there's that Emperor support level that came into fruition here between 2 and 3 o'clock. So we're going to mark that off. All right, so we're going to mark this off for use in the future because it's being notated as an important price level by the cards. And so we should be bound by the upper end of a range here in the last hour. And there's a, oh, I'm looking at the wrong day. Ace of Cups. So I should mark this off as Ace of Cups. My apologies, guys. I won't mark it off, but this is an Ace of Cups opportunity. If it was Emperor, it makes sense to mark off, but the Cups, the suit of Cups, is something that you'll learn a lot more about in the Investor Profit University that we're launching in January. But cups don't really represent price levels. Cups represent declines and opportunities of some kind. In most cases. So here at the end of the day, right, we've got this opportunity. Interesting. We have a correlation to the Priestess card here, correlation to the Empress card here. Oh wow, so this was opportunity for a day trade in here to close out. So if you've been following along on the hourlies, I was a little sick this morning, so I didn't notate this as on the trade alerts. But if you watch the dailies, then you would have known about this well in advance anyways. There's that opportunity there, that Ace of Cups opportunity open up along. And it looks like right around the close, there's opportunity. It might not be at the close, actually. It might be before the close because we've got this low correlator at the end of the day, or low correlation at the end of the day, and it's ruining the placement of a low position. So my sense is that probably coming up close to a peak here, like a top as far as the opportunity to close out of that long. Hey, it was luck. You wanna come up, buddy? So the question is this an opportunity to open up a short position for over the night? It actually looks like it could be. I have that we're opening up higher, but I've been off a few days in a row on these opens, these relative opens. They're the most frustrating part of dailies for me. I find them very difficult to read sometimes. In any case, I think you probably could. There's also opportunity. It looks like there's probably another high here on the 30th. But it's pretty difficult to time it because it's a nullified card. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, like I'm saying with S&P, it looks like there's probably a high in the last day of the month. Nvidia, Amazon, Microsoft. And we're going to take a look at SHIB coin and Bitcoin in just a moment. Let me see. I've got an Amazon open. Oh, don't do this now. It's like, it's bugged. Great. So annoying when it does that. All right, we're gonna take a look at Amazon in just a sec. I'm just setting it up, guys. Yeah, see, there's that unicursal there. I think you could have probably opened up a short here, or not here, but you could have earlier when we were talking about closing longs. Hard to say that this opens up, that this is going to have a high on Monday, but there's a trough in there before this move to the upside. I mean, if you're in a long, you could probably hold it like into, I mean, you're missing out on, you could have closed out for a gain and gotten an opportunity here for the long, but since you're in a long, I mean, you probably just hold the Amazon into October. Like I said yesterday, that we don't have a monthly for NVIDIA October yet. The only reason why we have a September is because I did it special for September before all of these changes come. It'll be covered on a monthly basis come December, which those readings will be coming out before the end of October. In any case, September for NVIDIA. Yeah, this likely has another high in it as well. That second high that we're seeing at the end of the month, doubtful that it takes place on the 30th, but it should be early in the month, in line with a lot of the other equities readings. So you could probably hold on to it at this point. Microsoft. Yeah, we should see another high in October, in early October. So I wouldn't stress out. Looking at it from like a daily chart, this is bullish RSI. Looking on the RSI, this is pretty bullish. We're likely going to come down lower before we go higher, though. So just don't get scared out. Exit is probably the second week of October, based on a lot of the equity readings that I did by the month or by the day for the month. Before October 4th, that's pretty risky. If you've got an expiration of October 4th, You probably want to push that expiration out until like mid third week, because you're looking for an exit somewhere around here, the 10th or the 11th probably. Sorry, that's September. Hold on a second. So sorry. I'm not feeling that great if you guys can't tell. All right, let's look at Amazon for October. Yeah, so like you're cutting it really close. It's basically what I said. If you have an expiration out for like mid third week, you'll be a happy camper. So if you need to push it out, that's what I would do. Remember, with especially with options, you want to make sure that you're in options that are like valuable. Like, it may seem like, oh man, if it makes this move, those out of the money options will make me so much money. But please understand, the way that we trade SO meta analysis, those out of the money options, 99% of the time, you're going to miss out on the gain. You'll be right and still miss out on the gain because you were out of the money rather than at the money or in the money. So never, ever mess with out of the money. I'm telling you, don't do it. I lost tens of thousands of dollars figuring out that lesson over a 10-year period. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't do it. It might work with some other systems. SO meta, it's a trap. Do not do it. Hopefully I made myself clear. And if you just hopped on, we're talking about messing around with out of the money options. Don't do it. I'm not a big fan of the word never. Out of the money options is a never ever. So you want to make sure that if you're repositioning yourself, that you're if you need to like reduce the contracts in order to stay in a good position with a further out expiration, that is the smart move. Putting them in a riskier strike price to keep the same number of contracts is a rookie mistake. Don't do it. Believe me. When it comes to options, they're priced based on how likely you are to make money with them. Think about that. The more valuable they are, the more likely you are to make money with them. That's not how equities work. This is how options work. The more valuable the option, the more likely you'll make money with it. The less valuable the option, the more likely you are to lose the money you put into it. And you should always think about options that way. This is from somebody who's been trading options for at least 15 years using SO meta analysis. Yeah, so you want to plan on an expiration out here around the 8th, 9th is probably the best bet. There's some other places where it might be higher, but from the standpoint of safety, which is rule number 1, protect your capital, this is probably the place to do it on the 8th, 9th, and you might want to save some room to add to a long position here on the second, very likely out of a low. All right, so let's take a look at Bitcoin. Well, actually, let's take a look at Shibcoin right now, because that's off the chain right now. Oop. I'm sorry, Hermes. I didn't mean to wake you up. He's sleeping in my lap. You're a good boy, Hermes. Yeah, so I think I probably told people to exit yesterday around this price level, which, like I said, I usually exit out like early, leaving some on the table, but that is what you want to aim for. You don't want to, it sounds silly. You do not want to aim for max gain. How many of your trades are you actually going to get max gain? Like, SO meta timing aside, how many of those trades are you actually going to get max gain? If you go for max gain, how often are you going to miss that opportunity versus take it too soon? Right? So you want to make sure that you get in the habit of taking your profits too soon, because that's where you'll make money consistently. Those people that take them, they're like, oh man, I should have left it on the table. I should have left it on the table and made more money. No, dude. That's why you're making money, because you're not like, oh, let's be greedy and get the max gain. There's another trade. Take the profits, use the money to find that trade. That's how it's done, my friends. So with that said, let's see if there's another entry, if we're going higher, what's going on with SHIB. We'll take a look right now. SHIB is one of the tickers that we currently are covering on a monthly basis by the day. If you're new to the channel, we do 1 month readings on SHIBcoin by the day. I'm pretty sure September has been insanely accurate for SHIBcoin. I might be wrong. There was one that it wasn't so hot, but I don't think it was SHIBcoin. Yeah, there's a good chance that this right here will be a high actually. So I had on the 27th. There's a high there. What's interesting, or excuse me, on the 20, yeah, on the 26th, 26th, 27th, there's a high there, right? But interesting thing is there was a trade up on the 25th at a reversal, right? Like, so that was an entry point. The interesting thing, what I'm getting at is that there is no exit point in the next few days as outlined by the cards, indicating very likely that October SHIB is where you're going to want to exit along if you're looking to risk on the table. If you're out, let's look for an entry point. Don't chase rallies, guys. That's scarcity mentality. It doesn't mean you're not going to miss out on gains by not chasing rallies. But what it does mean is that you're in the mentality of somebody who understands that there's more than enough opportunity. You don't need to chase an opportunity. Chasing rallies, chasing declines is scarcity mentality. It's like, oh man, I'm going to miss out. I'm going to miss out. How many other opportunities are there if you have an abundance mentality? Do not chase. It's a fool's errand. Hopefully people are taking this wisdom to heart, because guys, it's from experience. That's what wisdom comes from. Yeah. So October's looking super bullish for shitcoin. It's not going to end on highs. It'll end near lows, but the majority of the month is looking really bullish. Probably the entry point, the next entry point is going to be on the 1st. And if I'm wrong about that, where did my October SHIB go? What the heck? Oh, I'm looking at October SHIB. What the heck? Sorry, guys. If you're new to the channel, guys, this is your first time watching, this is a regular scheduled time. We do this every week, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. We also do that on Tuesdays, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. We have morning sessions usually on Mondays and Thursdays, although they're not all the time. I'm kind of not a morning person, really. And then we've got 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Wednesdays and Sundays. These are members only live streams where you can ask as many questions as you want, provided that you're a member of the channel. Yeah, so it looks like off of the high on the 30th, there's most likely going to be a high there on the 30th. Off of that high, there's probably a pretty sharp decline towards the end of the day, leading into a low early in the day on the 1st of October. That looks like a good entry point. I wouldn't, if you're out of it and you're looking to build a long position, you would open up a partial there, right? And I would say add to it on the 3rd if you have opportunity. It'll be at a lower price level, but it's unclear for sure that there's going to be a trough there based on that stuff. I think there probably will be one based on the strength card, which usually starts out of a decline. If you're in like a long day trade, guys, I would probably, if you've got a profit, I would probably take it here for the day trade. I don't think it's risky to wait till the end of the hour based on that ruin and the low significant or the low correlation in the post market card. You might open up a partial short here. I wouldn't open a partial short. Looks like next trade is going to be before noon on the 30th. Should be a bullish trade. Into a peak at the end of the day, it looks like. Can I guide on NVIDIA for next week? Man, there's this album. The artist's name is Fearless Soul. And I think the album is called Good Vibes Only. Wow, they got some really good messages in their stuff, guys. Fearless Soul. Like stuff that you know, but they remind you of it, you know? All right, so NVIDIA for next week. Probably bullish based on clear audience. Yeah, it's looking bullish, breaking through resistances. Monday, there's a breakout to the upside. Sideways fluidity on Tuesday. Bearish Wednesday. Big move to the upside on Thursday. And completion of a rally on Friday. There's a pretty good trade there on Thursday. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin. The Bitcoin, likely the Bitcoin came out for October already, I believe so. Amazon probably came out already as well. If it didn't, then it's coming out some point today. And we've got the remainder of the monthly, October monthlies coming out tonight. I'll remind everybody, people with monthly access subscription will have access to day trades for Tesla throughout the month of October. Don't miss out. That is not an every month thing. That's like a special order that somebody did. You get access to that as part of the monthly access. Boom! Look, we went right over. Jeez, went right over. But there was a trade in there, right? To enter into here, we just tipped it. Right, so the instructions with these live updated trading view charts is to enter in when you enter into these ellipses, right? And then we were above this ellipse, so hopefully people took that as an opportunity to exit out. We've also entered into this. How long ago did I draw this ellipse, guys? It was before this. It was before I drew this, and this was drawn before its time as well. So that's a solid trade. I would recommend waiting a little bit longer if you're doing the long-term trade. If you were doing the overnight swing, hopefully you've exited out for a significant gain. Microsoft for next week. Your questions aren't annoying, FYI. Your questions are fine. What are we doing, Microsoft? Man, look at these. All of these shorts were done in January, never even released because my editor was so bad. by the time I got to like getting rid of them, it was well past when these were important. Such a waste of work and effort. I've had some crap luck with editors. Excuse my French. It's an interesting thing because I don't usually have bad luck hiring people, but specifically with editing. Yeah, see, so this is like sidewaysy into the end of the month, advising not to chase a rally at the very end of the month, and we end up in a period of volatility. Yeah, there's a good chance that we have a low there. Oof. If we do, though, that's going to be a big move back to the upside. That may not be a low there. Matter of fact, that's probably not a low there. I probably have this as a low from the reading, but this was done so long ago. It's not really the type of, thematically, it's not really the type of energy for this Ace of Wands signification. Either way, there's going to be a trough there in early October, and it looks like we do end with like a peak here towards the end of the month. Like there's probably a peak mid-month and then a higher peak at the end of the month after like a significant dip. Overall, you could be bullish into this, but if you're not in it, I would wait for a better opportunity to enter in based on this ruin right here. Next week by the day, well, overall for the week. Okay, overall for the week, it's bullish, but it's like a sideways fluctuating rally preceding a decline. So, let's see. Hey, AV. Oh, wow. Okay, so there's pretty good trade next week. On Wednesday, in the midst of a rally for Microsoft, if you're just hopping on Wednesday in the midst of a rally, you could open up a short position, close a short position, open up a partial short. You're looking for an overbought crest on a multi-day scale, which may or may not form on Wednesday. It may be Thursday that it forms, but on Thursday there should be a significant decline on a multi-day scale. You'd close out of the short, and I would say open up a long position at that time. Yeah, open up a long position at that time because we have a huge counter move on Friday to the upside. Monday's price swingy, so be careful about that. I'm going to add this one to my alerts. Give me one sec, guys. Here you go, buddy. Here's your bed, goof. All right, so Microsoft, the chart for Microsoft, the link to the live updated TradingView chart is something that you get as part of the Total Access subscription. I'm going to show you guys how to get that at the end of this live stream. It's our premium access. You get access to everything, and we've got 2025 coming up. There's a boatload of 2025 one-year readings that you get access to, as not to mention the Discord trade alerts. So let me just put in this trade real quick. What is that, Wednesday 2nd? Partial short. And that's Friday, what? The 4th? So basically, everybody that's got total access, the total access pass now has been alerted of this trade that these two trades that we've got next week with Microsoft. Can you guide on GCT and IONQ for the rest of the year? GCT. This probably has more room to climb based on just the technicals, but let's see what the cards have to say. Overall for the fourth quarter. Oh, and that reminds me, guys, like literally the last day to get a special offer on these 2025 readings, buy two get one free, the $500 discount. Last day of that special offer is Monday. Okay, so there's an overbought crest that will sell off from. That's the overall trend behavior for Q4. So it likely means we've got more rallying until we get into like overbought territory up here. And then at that point, there should be a decline through multiple support levels on a multi-day scale. By the month, yeah, okay, so it turns over in October. There's a rally that ends with a fast sudden move higher and then a breakdown through diagonal trend line that was rallying along with increasing volatility, revisiting a key support level on a 1-year chart scale in November. And then we've got multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance in December. IONQ. This one probably goes a bit higher as well. This is a pretty significant breakout even through those moving averages. Overall, the remainder of, or I should say Q4, overall chart behavior. 3 pokes through the same trend line followed by a sharp decline off of that third poke. So overall pretty bearish, not breaking through key resistance. So we're probably coming up against that resistance right now. Let me see. Yeah. So this is kind of like where we top off. Actually, Actually, we go higher. We go a bit higher in this. Um, I wonder if this is the resistance right here. There's a breakout on the multi-day scale in October, sideways rotation in November along key support on a multi-day scale, and then a decline increasing with momentum moving forward in time throughout December. But it looks like we're bullish in October. Let's see if that's that price. If that's the resistance that we break out through that the cards are talking about here. Let's do like right. That looks like the top. That's not the breakout. I think the breakout has already basically been had right here. We broke out through this resistance here. But this is where we should top off around 1065 in October is my sense. Don't wait for an exact penny. When we're in this range, matter of fact, I'll draw it for you. I'll draw it and we'll put this in total access. So if you're new to the channel, that means exiting a long position somewhere with it when a candlestick enters into this range. That's where I expect the peak or crest to form. You should exit out of it at that point. I just pinned the link to that chart in our total access subscription on Discord. Radmir, if you're watching, the Bitcoin should have come out already. It should be out. It's definitely out by today. And you want me to take a look at? I'll take a look at Solana. Nice gain, Radmir. Dope. 207% gain on Ethereum. Awesome, man. Good stuff. All right, so Boeing and Solana. I'll get to those if there's time, my friend. I've got to answer these questions for the members on the live. Probably won't have time, but I'll answer those questions on the next one, my man. All right, let's see. TDD and PLTR. PLTR is another one covered on Total Access. This is one that we were pretty bullish on. If you guys recall, I believe it was 2023 even. It might have been early 2024 or 2023, but this is one that we were particularly bullish on. Pretty sure it was 2023. Look at that, guys. I know there's people who are watching this channel who made bank on this, guys. Bank. Even if they got in like early 2024, look at that gain, guys. All the way down in the 20s to almost $40. So we've got highs here notated at the end of September. And then there's it looks like there's a pretty significant trough there. That's probably not a lowest low based on where we are, but there's a significant trough right on the cusp, like a sharp drop into a significant trough on the cusp here of September into October. Overall, though, in October we've got a pretty big move continuing to the upside. See, there's a trough, a high and a low significator. Oh, interesting. Interesting. No, not necessarily a low there. More likely we're going to have another high, but it depends on how sharp of a drop we have here on the cusp. Right now, I would be bearish on PLTR. Let's see if we can get you an entry point if you're looking to get into it. Yeah, see, even we've got the Ace of Discs as the high correlator for PLTR's high in September. That's a cash out opportunity. The Magus card out of a trough in early September. Magus card offered huge opportunity, and you can see, boom, even if you got in early September, this would have been a huge gain, guys, huge. So what you want to be is short in this for the near term, and you should be looking for probably after a sharp drop, you're looking for an entry into a long position that you would likely close out of in early October with a lot of these other things, these other equities. Yeah, Claire Audience is telling me this is going south as well. I'd want to be bearish in this. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, so in October, overall for October, we have a halting of a bullish trend marked by a sharp decline through key support. But the first week of October is a pretty big move unexpectedly to the upside, and then that turns into erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level throughout the second week of October. In the midst of that, we should revisit a crest that's an opportunity. So I would be looking to exit out of a long position in the first or second week. For like a near term kind of trade. And I wouldn't hesitate either after you see a pretty big move to the upside on a multi-day kind of scale, probably closer to the second week. But after you see that, don't hesitate, pull the trigger, because there's a brief peak that's easily missed there. Look at that. That's the card I pulled for October overall for PLTR, right? So there's an important high in there, but we're likely going to south first, and I'm trying to get an idea of where. So I would say, if short term you could be short in this. Longer term you might still want to be bullish in this. If you're looking for an entry point, I would say here, if we enter into here, this is an acceptable range in October. If you're new to the channel, our red ellipse is where I expect a trough or some sort of low to form. So anybody that's got the total access subscription on our website, Terra for Traders, has access to this live updated chart information, as well as the live Discord trades if we choose to follow this trade specifically. So the way that you get that, guys, I've been talking a lot about it. We made a lot of changes to our website business model. You go to our order now on our website, Terra for Traders, click on subscriptions. It's not actually a subscription. It's a pass. It gives you access for a year. It's a one-time payment. Currently 3,000. There's a chance this goes to 5,000 before the end of the year, because when you think about it, somebody pointed it out. It's like less than paying the monthly for the monthly access subscription. It's super, super cheap. You're getting access to everything, all of the 1 years, the stock picker readings that are coming out probably the end of next week. All of the 1 years, all of the trades, the Discord alerts, the live updated TradingView chart links, all of that stuff. Total access gets you access to everything that we do on our website. You get early access, you get the monthly access. All of that is included for currently $3,000, and that's likely going to go up, guys. The more I think about it, I'm like, man, that's way underpriced compared to our monthly access subscription. So I wouldn't short PLTR to answer your question in October. As far as TDD, which is our last question here, guys. No chart for that. Is that the right ticker? Whatever that ticker is meant to be, or if it is the right ticker, we'll do a reading for whatever it's meant to be. For October overall. Key resistance in October, kind of flat. Be cautious in the first week. Opportunity to close longs, open shorts in the second week. Could probably close out of those shorts in the fourth week of October. TTD, yeah, that's what I thought. So, like I said, I did a reading for what it's supposed to be. But let's take a look and see. Yeah, so opportunity in the second week of October to open up short, close longs. And I'm going to leave you guys with that, guys. Next time I'm on is Sunday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern time. I'll see all of you then. Thank you for joining. In the meantime, if you've got the Discord trade alerts, keep an eye out. There may be some trades going on there over the weekend for crypto. You never know. I do that sometimes. But most importantly, guys, make sure if you're cashing out on profits here, the channel is counting on you. The whole purpose is to follow that rule of karma. Make sure to follow through on that. Much love and appreciation. Blessings to all my angel investors. Have a great weekend. I guess we have one more day of the month on Monday. So have a great weekend, and I will see you guys on on Sunday.